It's not going to surprise anyone to hear that women in modern games tend to look pretty terrible. We're not talking about average or even homely here, this is just god awful. If you played a lot of modern releases, you'll know what I'm talking about. While there are definitely exceptions like the Final Fantasy VII remakes or Stellar Blade, that's exactly what they are, rare exceptions. Whether it's Suicide Squad, Horizon Forbidden West, or Spider-Man 2, they take women and disfigure the crap out of their faces and bodies. A lot of the times these are women who we've seen look pretty good in previous games, but for some reason, the second or third time around, they get dragged through the pavement and flattened.
Well, that sounds terrible.
It is terrible.
The latest example is the upcoming Wolverine PS5 game, where Jean Grey looks like a bona fide bridge troll. I mean, good God, this is the face of a literal troglodyte. What idiot would make a character like Jean Grey look this way? A simple Google search shows you how she's supposed to look, and shocker, it's nothing like this crap. There's a point where you have to question what these weirdos have against beautiful women, because man, this is just offensive to anyone with eyes. They love to tell us, go outside and see real women, but nonsense like this proves they're the ones who don't have a goddamn clue what real female beauty looks like. Grums points out on Twitter all the excuses they usually come up with, and he's absolutely right to call out all their lies and nonsense. This is so horrifying, it could only be done on purpose. Clearly they went in with this ugly crap in mind for it to turn out this way. If this is based on a scan, then the face model needs to sue these weirdos because what they did to her is a crime. You see games like Stellar Blade and you realize just how unacceptable all these excuses they come up with are. Eve's face in that game was beyond gorgeous, and yet this is the best they could do for Jean Grey? Eat my shorts, man, that's a load of BS and these weirdo devs know it.
You guys suck at everything.
Now I stayed out of the whole Sweet Baby Inc. debacle because it was just such a sad thing to have to talk about. The fact that there is a company out there whose sole purpose is to come in and ruin games, that's not something I enjoy talking about or even thinking about. Unfortunately, they're involved in this game, and again, it's not surprising when you look at what they did to Spider-Man 2 and Suicide Squad. Mary Jane and Harley got the ultimate downgrade, and it's not even like Mary Jane was that hot in the first game to begin with. They have their formula, which includes pudgy faces, no curves, and masculine personalities, which have become the modern day developers' blueprint for female characters, even when Sweet Baby Inc. isn't involved, i.e. Horizon Forbidden West. Talk about a downgrade. God only knows how Aloy gained weight, considering her life is full of all sorts of physical activity like fighting and climbing. But of course, realism only applies when they want it to, because they're hypocrites. In reality, they're worse than hypocrites, since the so-called realism they include isn't even real. Because again, the real world outside their echo chamber is full of beautiful women.
Whole bunch of functional idiots.
Grums really goes hard on these morons, as he should, and one of the things he points out is very important and probably got overlooked. Just the day before this Jean Grey nonsense leaked, a principal artist who worked for Naughty Dog, Rocksteady, and Respawn tweeted about this exact issue. He says that every time he creates a beautiful woman for a game, it comes back looking ugly as all hell. As Grums points out, and as this guy himself even states, he hates Gamergate men. So he's not trying to do any of us any favors by admitting this. So keep in mind, this is a woke liberal developer who probably hates the fact that he added fuel to our fire, but he was so pissed off about this, he came out with it anyway. The exact things we've all noticed for years and listened as the media shills told us we were conspiracy theorist incels for seeing are real, and even the people on the inside are tired of this crap by now. It really makes you wonder why these people insist on boxing us all up into these labels to dismiss us, when in reality they hate a lot of the same things we do. They're usually too scared to admit it, and that fear comes from not wanting to lose their jobs, or worse than that, wanting to fit in with some group of people who claim anyone against them is a racist or sexist, or any other insulting label they can come up with.
That is so deeply pathetic.
The fact is, traditional female beauty comes from innocence, i.e. a lack of trauma. What they're doing now is presenting you with women who look dirty, world weary and like they've been through a meat grinder. They're filled with trauma and have probably had more guys in them than a sports bar during the Super Bowl, because that's the narrative they want to push concerning how modern day women should act. As a man, you instinctively don't find that attractive, but they want to reprogram us all to find ugliness appealing. Whether it's due to them looking like diabetic land whales or selling themselves online for the price of a Happy Meal and still expecting to be respected, they don't want to hear that maybe they should put down that 5th burger or close their legs every once in a while. They just want to justify their sad, pathetic, miserable lives any way they can.